Hey there! So for the past year and a half or so, I've been crocheting these little goblin guys, and I didn't really know what to do with them for the longest time, but they were really fun to make, so I just kept making them and making them and making them. And I never really shared it online anywhere, but I think I finally figured out what to do with them, so I just wanted to use this video to share with you my goblin army. So this is my goblinoid army, and as you can kind of see, there's a lot of different species and characters going on here. So for this video, I'll go through each species, show off some of my favorite characters, and then explain what I actually plan on doing with them, and there is actually a plan. Now, as a group, I call these the goblinoids, but each one is a different kind of thing. So let's start with the goblins. So most people know what goblins are. They're short and have pointy noses and pointy ears. They're little tricksters. I kind of think of them as pawns on the battlefield kind of thing. My favorite characters that I've made of goblins are this guy right here. His name is Captain. As you can tell, he's got a little eye patch there. He lost his eye to an ogre in early on, and now his entire life goal is just to kill ogres and steal their eyes. So yeah, he's kind of got a little bit of a dark thing going on there. And this guy, whose name is Mo. We're not sure if his name is Mo because he's got a little mohawk or because he looks a little emo. But regardless, he goes by Mo. So those are the goblins. There's also this one. There we go. I don't have a name for this, and as I go through, there's going to be a few of these characters that don't have names. So if you have a good idea for a name, let me know in the comments, or when I post them on social media, I'll probably be asking for names if I still don't have a name yet. I made this guy actually just last week, so he's a pretty new one. He's got a little cigar here, and I really like the way I made his mouth. Okay, he's kind of like a mobster kind of guy. Next up are the trolls. So trolls are a lot like goblins. They have pointy noses, pointy ears. They're pretty smart, but they're a little sturdier, making them good magicians and sorcerers and shamans and stuff like that. Yeah, my favorite trolls that I've made is this guy. I really like this guy. He is, I call him Magi, but I don't really have a set name for him yet. As I go through these, there's actually a lot of shields and stuff that are all removable. This one's got a little pull tie. This like tightens it on his arm here. It's got a little pin in it because that guy shot him with a pin. So yeah, he's the coolest thing about this guy is that this headdress thing that I made, first try. Very first try I made that, and it was perfect. That usually doesn't happen, so I was really proud of how well that guy came together. My other favorite goblin, or troll rather, and probably my favorite character in all this is this guy. His name is Guillermo. Well, his real name is, but that's a family name, so he goes by Guillermo. He's obviously like a little beat poet. He's got this little stupid beard thing. Yeah, and these fun glasses. Yeah, I really like Guillermo a lot. He's kind of like a beat poet. So this one's probably the most recent troll that I've made. I made her just before Christmas, and the cool thing about her is that her head is separate from her body, so it's completely can spin around. She's a little creepy. I don't have a name for her yet. I was thinking, I really don't have a name at all. I had no idea for a name for this one, but yeah, she's obviously blind completely. As I go through, there's a lot of ones here that kind of have a blind thing going on. Next up are the orcs. Orcs are kind of like the soldiers on the battlefield. You know, they're a little stronger, harder to kill kind of thing. As I go through also, a lot of these characters are finger puppets, actually. I should have mentioned that earlier. Orcs are kind of like the soldiers of the battlefield. I've made mostly orcs, because they're kind of my favorite one to make. My favorite ones that I've made that are orcs are this guy, who I call Titan. Obviously, he's been in quite a lot of battles. He's got a blinded eye, a little scar here, and yeah, a little scar on the back. He has been through a lot of battles. Another one of my favorites here is called Mung. I don't really know why he's called Mung. It's just what I called him. He's got a cool little ponytail. And like I said before, like the shield there's also little weapons. So I have stuff like a bow, and they all just go right into their hands. So they all are removable. And here's a sword. You can go right there. There we go. So he's got a bow and a sword now. Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. This guy's a little bit fatter than the rest of them too. Put him back. Next up are the ogres, and the ogres are the biggest guys. They're kind of like the warriors of the battlefield. They're pretty large. They all have a kickstand because they can't really stand up on their own, but that helps them stand up pretty easily. I made this guy literally last night, and so I don't have a name for him at all. But I do have a name for some of them. The crowd favorite, most people really like Stacy here. This is Stacy, and Stacy's a right charming gal. She's got her old ball and chain there. Yeah, I really like Stacy a lot. And this guy, grab him. His name is Owl, and Owl has this cool backpack that I have for him. So he's got this cool little backpack that I put on and take off to carry these little guys. I have one of them. I can't find it, but there's one with a long stick with a piece of meat hanging off the end. So it's like he's like chasing a piece of meat kind of thing. These little guys I call goblets, like a goblet kind of thing, because they're tiny goblins, kind of like a piglet, but a goblin. Yeah, I don't really know. I think I call this guy Kip, and I call this guy Owl, but I don't really have set names for them all just yet. I'll put them to the back here. Ugh. And lastly, we have the hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are like tanks on the battlefield. My story for what hobgoblins are is that they're usually goblins have a pretty short lifespan, so they don't really make it very long. But if they get their access to a little bit more food and they live a little bit longer than their short lifespans, they become hobgoblins, these big hunkin' guys. That's why this guy's got a big steak right there, because he's a bit gluttonous. This guy's name is Monk because of his fun little hairdo there. And there's a few different ones. I have this gal. This is Brandy with an eye. She's got her cute little pigtails. And then the king right here is a hobgoblin, and I have this really big one back here, which I don't have a name for. He's just huge. So yeah. All right, so that's my goblin army. Obviously, there's a lot of other little characters around, and I'll be posting all of them on my social media over the next, month or so. I mean, there's so many. So if you follow me on social media, I'm at Louie's Loops pretty much everywhere. But what do I actually plan on doing with them? I made a lot of them into finger puppets, so there's probably a finger puppet show coming out sometime in the future. I've also made a full-on puppet version of them, so I probably will do something with this. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But my real plan for them is a tabletop game. I've been developing this game that you craft all your pieces for the game from home. I obviously make all my pieces out of crocheted guys, but you can make them out of whatever you want. Clay, Play-Doh, Legos, or even just like pogs of cardboard. It doesn't matter as long as you make them yourself. I'm not ready to come out with the game just yet. It's still being play tested, but if you want to become a play tester and let me know what you think and help me develop the rules a little bit more, go to patreon.com/Louie'sLoops and support for any amount of money, even just like $1 a month, and you'll become a play tester for the game and you can let me know what you think. From that Patreon page, I also have the option to collaborate with me to crochet a goblinoid of your own. And eventually I'll be coming out with the tabletop game for free, so just make sure to subscribe on my YouTube channel or follow me on any of my social media accounts so that you see it when I come out with this game eventually. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time building all these guys and thinking heavily about them, so I'm just excited to share them. If you like this video, make sure to like down below and comment if you have any questions or you have any names for any of the guys or you just want to say hi. Thanks again for watching. Pasta la pizza and happy hooking. Bye.